Hello children, so today we are going to do a new grammar topic called interrogation. Okay, it is of lesson 4 Kalu A Maland, and the grammar topic that we are going to see is interrogation. Okay, so let's move ahead and see. So we have already done this topic. We have this topic in the textbook. So here is just a snapshot of the same. L'interrogation, interrogation. Okay. So there are in total 3 forms of interrogation. Okay. Here at the right side, you can see the first one is l'intonation, second is esque, and third is l'inversion. Okay, now what is intonation? So they have given the first example. Vous parlez français. Now here there is nothing much to be changed. We are just going to add a question mark to the sentence that we are asking. So here the sentence is vous parlez français. So we have just changed it to a question form by adding a question mark to it. Okay. So l'intonation means we are going to change a particular sentence in the form of a question with the form of with the help of question mark. The second form is esque. Now, esque we add in the beginning of any sentence. Okay. So here let's see an example. Est-ce que vous parlez français? Do you speak French? Est-ce que vous parlez français? So always est-ce que is added in the beginning of the sentence. By adding est-ce que or est-ce que with an apostrophe before an affirmative or a negative sentence. Okay. Okay. Let's revise both of them again. What is l'intonation? In l'intonation, you take the sentence, you add a question mark to it, okay, by using a rising intonation. For example, vous parlez français, tu regardes la télé, tu ne regardes pas la télé, okay. Do you speak French? Do you see television? Don't you watch television? Like that. And the second form is esque, which we just saw. In esque, est-ce que vous parlez français? Do you speak French? Okay. So what we have done, we have taken vous parlez français, okay, and we have added esque in front of it. So it becomes esque, then vous parlez français, okay. And in the second one, il ne regarde pas la télé. Okay, so the sentence is starting with il. So we have added esque in front of it, but since il starts with a vowel, so esque will be QU apostrophe. Okay. Now next, l'inversion. What is l'inversion? Basically, it means inversion. By how do we do that? By inverting the verb and the pronoun and inserting a hyphen in between the verb and the pronoun. Okay. So let's see the first example. Parlez-vous français? So here what have we done? Vous parlez français. We have inversed the places of parler and vous. So parler comes in the beginning of the sentence. Vous goes after the verb. So vous is placed after the verb. But we cannot place it just like that. So we add a hyphen. Okay. So what is inversion? In inversion, we interchange the position of the verb and the subject. Second example is regarde-tu la télé? So here also we have changed the places of tu and regarde. Regarde-tu la télé? Ne regardes-tu pas la télé? Ne regardes-tu pas la télé? Okay, in the negation form, what you will do is, in the case of inversion, you will add no before the verb and pa you will add after the subject. Okay, so since we have inversed it, so tu has come after the verb with a hyphen, so you will add pa after that subject. Okay, moving on. Now how to do inversion in case of a third person singular form. Okay, if the verb does not end with a td or t. Okay, so let's see. In the third person singular form, if the verb does not end with t or d or t or d, then t is inserted. Okay, so let's see the first. Parle-t-il français? So why have we put t here? Because parle ends with an e, il starts with an I. So that is why two vowels cannot be together. So that is why we have placed t in between. So parle-t-il français? Regarde la télé. Regarde la télé. No regarde pas la télé. Okay, so these are the examples. So whenever the subject is starting with a vowel and the verb ends with a vowel, the two vowels cannot be together. So that is why we will put a T in between during inversion. Okay, next part. Inversion is not used with je. Okay, intonation or sk is used. Whenever we write a sentence with je parle français, so we can never do the inversion form. I can never say parle je français. No, that's not possible. But what we can do is we can use intonation or sk. For example, est-ce que je peux regarder la télé? Can I watch television? Est-ce que je peux regarder la télé? Okay. And in intonation, you can just directly write je peux regarder la télé with a question mark. Okay. So remember, whenever we want to make a question with the subject je, we will never use inversion form. We will only use intonation or esco form. Okay. Now let us see what is interrogation and l'interrogation négative et C. So what is negative questions and C? So usually whenever we ask a question, okay, a positive question, affirmative question, the answer is usually we or no. Okay. But there are also questions in which we use negation. For example, vous ne parlez pas français. So we are going to see what to do in case of such questions. So here we have one point. We have learned to form negative sentences by placing no and pa on either side of the verb. Negative questions are formed in the same way for the first and second form of interrogation. Okay. So, vous ne parlez pas français. Est-ce que vous ne parlez pas français? So, for the intonation and the esco form, we will have the normal form of negative questioning. We will place no before the verb and pa after the verb. Okay, so that is why it's the same. But in the third form of negative interrogation, the pa is placed after the pronoun, like exactly how I said. So you will place no before the verb in the beginning of the sentence, and you will place pa after the subject or the pronoun. Okay, so pa will be after that. So now we are going to see uh, how to answer to questions that have a negation in it. Okay. All right. So we know to reply to questions by using we know. Okay, so we usually what we do, we either reply by using we, yes, or we reply by using no. Okay. So in the case of a negative question, there is another way to say yes in French. Okay, if you're disagreeing with a negative question, that is by using si. Now let's see the question. Vous ne parlez pas français. So here it is a negative question. You can see. Now, if you want to disagree with this question, so you'll say si je parle français. Yes, I speak French. You don't speak French. Yes, I speak French. Okay, like that. So if you want to disagree, you will use si. Okay. Another example is ne regarde-t-il pas la télé? No regarde-t-il pas la télé? Doesn't he watch television? So if you want to say yes, he's watching the television, so you'll say si, il regarde la télé. Okay. Next one, question when the question is not in negation. Okay, children, please note this. Whenever the question is not in negation, we will use we to answer if you want to say yes. Okay. For example, tu aimes le chocolat? Oui, j'aime le chocolat. Okay. But if the question is in negation, then you will use si to say yes. Okay. Tu n'aimes pas le chocolat? Si, j'aime le chocolat. Okay. Fine. Let's see the next. Okay. We know to reply to questions by using we know. There is another word. Okay. It's the same thing that we just saw. Okay. So yes, so children, that's it with the topic for today. In our next class, we will be doing some other topics, some other grammar topics. If you have any doubts regarding this, please let me know. You can text me or reach me out through Teams. So yes, have a good day. Au revoir. Bonne journée.